So today is day one Super Bowl rehearsals with Bad Bunny. God, what a crazy emotional ride leading up to this moment. But I am so ready to walk into this rehearsal, so ready to get ready for this. The biggest show I've ever done in my life. But I'm going into this thinking of an incredible journey I've had in dance. For my people in Chicago, for my people in Humboldt Park, and for my people from Puerto Rico. This is, I'm so honored and just so hyped to be part of this moment and represent for you all. Stay in touch.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS from the Flavor Podcast. You are listening and watching the Flavor Podcast.
We're back. We didn't change.
But Chicago pizza or New York pizza?
Oh, I'm with Chicago pizza all day. Well, that's
Tom.
White Tom.
Because I like chasing the rats.
The rats. You said, can you put your finger up for a second? Like this? Up like this. Like you're about to point something.
Oh.
So this is going to be... What's up? It's your boy Los LOS from the Flavor Podcast. You are listening and watching the Flavor Podcast. Yo, it's freezing in Chicago. I know last week I said it was nice outside. But mira, está frizando afuera. Yo, it's too cold outside today. I can't handle it. I need to go to Puerto Rico like ASAP, like now, stat. I know it's beautiful out there and I need to go. Plus, my people are all excited over there about what happened at the Benito Bowl and whatnot. They're still excited. They're still jumping up and down. They're still running around. It's a great time right now to be Puerto Rican. Look, if I die 1,000 times, I want to come back as a Puerto Rican. That's right, I said it. I don't want to be white. Who wants to do that? Nah, Puerto Rican. Come on, let's do this. Yo, my hot topic for today, and of course, my co-host is not here today because this is an exclusive. We're having an exclusive today. I don't come in on Saturdays. Today is Saturday, and I don't come in on Saturdays. But you know what? For this person that's going to be sitting on this table, I'm doing it. I'm here. The exclusive today, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I'm doing my hot topic. My hot topic right now is Bad Bunny. Of course, we're going back to the rabbit. Yo, check it out. He was supposed to do a movie in Puerto Rico, and it looks like he was supposed to do the movie with Rene Perez, and it is canceled. It's not going to happen in Puerto Rico now. From what I hear, from what I'm seeing, you guys could double check on that. But what I'm seeing on social media, it's moved to DR. It's moved to Dominican Republic due to one wildebeest called Governor Jennifer Gonzalez Colon. Yes, go check her out. I didn't call her wildebeest just to be mean. No, she actually looks like one. Yeah, she doesn't like it. She's making things political, and we are not having 400 plus jobs go to Puerto Rico. And that's 400 plus jobs on the soil. Then there was other like 200 or 300 jobs digitally. That's not going to Puerto Rico now because of this wildebeest right here. So I just got to say, hey, Bunny, do your thing. I know it's DR, it's not Puerto Rico, but do your thing. Still tell the history of Puerto Rico, and we're proud of you. This is your boy Los, and we'll be back with our guests. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Los from the Flavor Podcast. Did you know that in a research study, Rashi has been shown to have anti-cancer properties, anti-tumor effects. It helps detox the body and regulates the immune system. Whether your immune system needs to be controlled or boosted, Gano can help you there. And natural coffee that changes people's lives. Get your daily dose of 150 antioxidants in 1 cup while enjoying the flavor of this beautiful coffee. Natural coffee never tasted this good. What's up? We are back in this Gano XL Mushroom Reishi coffee. Look at my hair is growing like bananas, My skin is great and my gut health is also great. Look it up. It's down there. I said, look it up. It's down there. You know where to go. Go down there, click on the link, and pick up that Gano XL Mushroom Reishi coffee. It is great for you. Right now on the table, I am so excited. This is an exclusive. Look at when this man called. Well, actually, he texted or he communicated. Because my wife says I say everything's called when they actually text or email. When he communicated with me and he said, hey, I want to come on. And I was looking for him anyways. I was like, I wanted him to be on. So I just didn't think he was in town. And he was in town and he is in town in Chicago. And I'm excited that he's actually sitting right across from me right now. and he goes by the name of Lyrik Cruz. What's up, Lyrik?
What's up, my brother? How are you?
I am great. Look, I'm ecstatic. I use that word a lot, ecstatic. I'm happy that you're here. So how long are you gonna be here? Because I know you don't live here. You live here, but you don't live here.
Yeah, no. So literally, I flew home the day after Super Bowl. Fortunately, it was already planned out like that because I was here for the Chicago Salsa Congress.
Okay.
But, brother, I was so excited to come and celebrate with my people in my neighborhood in Humboldt Park. I was ready to walk into so much love with the people that have supported me my whole career. So I've been here since then, but I'm heading back to LA on Monday.
Okay. So I know you did something. I saw something on social media. You did something at Esmeralda's, right?
Yeah. So all my friends that I grew up with, especially there's the Keyless family. I don't know if you know Jesse and Maria and Liana. They do these pop-ups, but Jesse and Maria are lifetime friends of mine. Their parents were kind of my pseudo parents in the neighborhood, so they wanted to get together a welcome home party, which they totally surprised me with. They did it with like a 24-hour turnover. But, I walked into an event with all my friends from grammar school, high school, dance friends.
That's awesome.
It was really dope, yeah.
You know what's so awesome? That there was a cutout of you. There was a cutout.
Yeah,
There was a cutout,
yeah.
right? I'm like, at first I thought it was you. I'm like, no, that's a cutout.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome that so many people are showing you so much love right now.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So just to know a little bit more about Lyrik, he's a dancer. He's a choreographer. He loves his community. He loves his people. He comes right back to Chicago, even though he lives in California, and he's traveling all over the world, teaching dancing and choreographing. I got a problem with that word. It's a Spanglish that doesn't want to get it out. The Spanglish is keeping it out. But you've done so much. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you have done.
Listen, I share more to inspire because I'm not big on being super braggadocious about, the stuff that I've done. But, I am proud that I'm a kid that came from Humboldt Park and, I decided to pursue this career in Hollywood, which, a lot of people laughed at. But, I made my way there. And, fortunately today, I've worked on some incredible films. I was a featured dancer on In the Heights.
Okay.
The movie musical.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
one of the
awesome.
dancers in the film. I got to work on another movie musical, Christmas movie musical with Ryan Reynolds called Spirited.
Okay.
Also one of the featured dancers in that. And, I've worked on TV shows like American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance. I've worked on iCarly, Young Sheldon, Grey's Anatomy.
Really? You're on iCarly?
I was the resident choreographer for iCarly.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's the list goes on. I most recently last year I worked on Dexter, the Original Sin.
Okay.
I was one of the dancers on that.
All right.
Yeah.
A kid from Humboldt Park.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. Don't tell me that you can't make it too. And he'll say to himself, if he could make it, you could make it.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Look at everything that he's doing. That's great and it's inspiring. Thank you so much for doing that stuff. But you also did stuff here in Chicago. You also taught for semi-years, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, my journey in Humboldt Park, my dance life started fortunately, growing up in Humboldt Park in the 80s and 90s was probably the best time to grow up in Humboldt Park due to the music and culture that I was born into.
Yeah.
And, proudly Puerto Rican, I was born into all the salsa music that you can have. But, I grew up on Division Street and, by the time I was 9, I started dancing with a youth Puerto Rican folkloric dance group called Las Semillitas. And we used to rehearse at the Humboldt Park Field House. Mm-hmm. And that's really how my dance journey started. In grammar school, I was fortunate enough to have Tito Rodriguez as one of my teachers who came to do like an artist in residency. I was like 9 years old. And he was teaching us bomba, plena, and all the folkloric dances.
Nice.
And, I kind of ran with that, until I got accepted into Lincoln Park Performing Arts High School. That's where I started feeling that the dream was attainable, that it's something that I could really do. And, when you go to a performing arts high school, it also helps you understand that it can be a legitimate career. Yeah. Growing up in our neighborhood, to say that you want to dance for a living, they're like, pues nene, baila, baila. Si quieres bailar, baila. But, they don't.
Be like, los colitos están ahí.
Exactly, which were legendary.
Yeah, they were. My sister was one.
Yeah, listen, between the culito and the all-star dancers that Gringo had, which shout out to Gringo, which I love so much. They were the ones who set the tone, but I danced in those youth dance groups in Humboldt Park for years until I was 17. My senior year of high school, I started Los Jóvenes del Swing, which, became something really big. I had an incredible vision for that company. And I went on to having it for 13 years, and we became an international touring company by the time I was 22.
Awesome. So when did you start hitting some TV stuff, some like bigger stuff? What year was that? And let me know, how did you feel about it?
Yeah. So this happened later in life. When I turned 30, I went through my first midlife crisis. And, I wasn't sure if I wanted to dance anymore. It was just a time of life where, you get absorbed by what's happening around you too. And, all your friends are getting married and buying property, and you feel like you're falling behind in life. And, I didn't finish college, and, just so many things you start thinking about. And then I was like, well, I've always done like public relations work on the side. I was a journalist it was a calling, so while all those years dancing here in Chicago, I also worked at Rimo magazine. I was a creative director for nightclubs. Anything that had to do with entertainment, I was always involved. So when I was 30, I was like, I would love to work for a record company. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to leave the dance thing behind. So I was working in San Diego. Every weekend I would go up to Los Angeles to meet friends that I knew. And my best friend from high school here from Chicago, she's a singer-songwriter in LA. And then I just, I wanted to work for a record label. So I started interviewing and making those rounds. And then I actually landed a job with Atlantic Records.
Let's go.
Started developing one of their artists. Mm-hmm. But, dancing is the calling. I love all parts of entertainment. But, once it got wind that I was in LA, and I knew I had to start from the ground up again, but I owed it to myself to give Hollywood a shot. Fortunately in the Latin dance world, I did amazing. I had traveled the world. I've been to over 40 countries.
Name a few exotic ones. I want to hear the exotic ones.
Some of the greatest countries I've been to West Africa.
Okay. Nice.
To Cote d'Ivoire. I've been to India. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Sweden, Spain, Italy, Venezuela.
Let's go.
Isla Margarita.
Dancing.
Yeah.
A kid from Humboldt Park, y'all.
Yeah.
A kid from Humboldt Park.
Straight
Camera on me. A kid from Humboldt Park. Come on, somebody.
Straight from Division and Kedzie, man. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Division and Kedzie?
Yeah. But yeah, so, and then I decided to give Hollywood a try. And, it wasn't easy. No one gives you a handbook on how this goes.
Yeah.
But, I never counted myself out, even in my lowest of times, because, the journey of life is tough and it's real.
Yeah.
And, I came from a single parent home.
Yeah.
My mother raised 3 boys on her own in a really tough neighborhood. And me and my brothers were all super different too. Yeah. But, I don't know. There's something that I did grab from growing up in Humboldt Park, that I was tough. I was tough, and I'm not going to tell you I didn't feel defeated, but I knew that I would win. Yeah. And, and I knew that every loss was going to lead to me being a victor. And that's just how I treated it. And I gave Hollywood a shot, and it was tough, but, once it clicked, and it happened, and I'm there to stay,
Wow. So getting to Hollywood, was that hard at first? Because you don't know a lot of people. You might know 1 or 2 people, but you don't know a lot of people.
Oh yeah, no, like I really didn't know much. I again at 31, I'm here learning another part of the industry from the bottom up. I almost felt like what I did for the past 14 years didn't matter there. So that was also, it was humbling as hell, and also very defeating. You're just like, I just traveled the world for 14 years promoting my culture and salsa music.
Yeah.
And not one agent can resonate with what I did.
Yeah. Wow.
But it took that first agent that said, Jim Keith, and I'm still so grateful for him. He was my first agent in LA, and he was honest. He was like, Lyrik, I don't know what to do with what you have, but I like what you have to offer as a person.
Okay.
So if you're willing to take a chance with me, I'm going to take the chance on you.
Yeah.
And he did, and I'm super grateful for him. And then fortunately, coincidentally, my childhood best friend, who's Gina Rodriguez, an actress from Chicago,
Yes.
she ended up booking her hit TV show, Jane the Virgin.
That's right. Shout out to Gina.
And, me and Gina have always been very community based, and so were her parents. And, she danced in Jóvenes del Swing, when I had my dance company.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
We met dancing in childhood dance groups. We met when she was 9 and I was 11.
Okay.
Been best friends since. So, we kind of both had our journeys in this separately, but at the same time. And, Gina doesn't like to take a lot of credit, but, she did throw the rope back when she was in the position too.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to, because she knows that was also not the way that we worked our friendship. We love our friendship a lot, so we never try to blur the lines.
Yeah.
But, whenever an opportunity came, she tells me this. She's like, brother, I didn't do anything. I just threw your name in the hat because I knew you were good enough. It was up to you to book it, and you booked it because you booked it, not because of me.
That's love.
Yeah,
love.
it's so real, But when she was in a position to do something great for me, and she did it, and I'm so appreciative of that, because then that led me to working with Hollywood legend Debbie Allen. And
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I've been working with Debbie now for 13 years.
You know how I was in love with her with fame?
Yeah, well, imagine, bro,
I was so in love with her.
for Milos, this is the first dance teacher through a television when I was 5-6 years old. And, she ended up directing one of the episodes of Jane the Virgin. After that, she calls Gina. She's like, hey, I need a salsa teacher for a private party at my home. Gina's like, oh, my brother, he's a salsa teacher. Gina's on set. She calls me. She's like, brother, listen, Debbie Allen's going to call you. She's looking for a salsa teacher, but I'm about to film. I'll call you later. Bye.
Love it.
And I'm sitting in a parking lot in my friend's building. And I'm like, did she just say Debbie Allen's going to call my phone? So, bro, I start sweating like crazy. I'm sitting in my car and the phone rings and it's like, can I speak to Lyrik Cruz in the best voice that you could ever hear, ever? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, this is Debbie Allen. And oh my God, I still get goosebumps right now sharing the story.
Yeah.
Because, these are things that are just, you can't plan for them to happen, but what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
And after that, I went and worked with Debbie. I was very fortunate that her and her family gained an affinity for me. She saw what I had to offer, and literally, her daughter and her daughter said to me, Lyrik, me and mom will make sure that everyone knows who you are. You could hear that a lot of times in Hollywood, and no one will ever come through because it's a very self-involved industry. But there are two people that they kept their promise, and at that point, now I have Gina in one corner, Debbie Allen in the other.
Go.
It just helped create legitimacy behind what I had to offer. The truth is that you still have to show up and prove that you're worth it and you're worth the space that you want to occupy. But without someone opening the door, I've spent a lifetime fighting. And breaking down doors. Even when I was here in the community, I was 17. I grew up in a time where they weren't taking us serious, the young ones, and La Vieja Guardia, they did not want to pass the torch, so a lot of doors were shut on me. But, but still shout out to those few community leaders that did open the door for me, that did see what I have to offer, like Jose Quiles and Edwin Cardona, and, people from the Cultural Center, people from Ruiz Belvis at the time, they saw that I had something to offer, and they did make space for me. And they would, ask me to choreograph the pageants for the Puerto Rican parade and stuff like that, which were all the playgrounds for me to start this incredible journey that I've been on.
That is awesome.
So, it was nice. And then, then I really put on my suit and I was ready to go in there and handle it, and claim my spot. And, and I'm happy to say I've been there for 13 years now, and, I'm there to stay.
Awesome. Hey, you want to play a game?
Yeah, sure.
I want to play a game. Let's play a game. Yeah?
Down.
Camera on me. Okay, camera is on me. Okay, go. After these messages.
Okay, sounds good.
Hungry? Welcome to Buongiorno's, your neighborhood slice of Italy in the heart of downtown at 405 North Wabash. From that first crackle of a hot, thin crust margarita to the aroma of sausage and pepperoni fresh from the oven, this is pizza that stops you in your tracks. Every pie comes out blistered, just right. Bright tomatoes, silky mozzarella, and a crust that holds the fold. Watch the cheese pull. See the slice. Hit the plate. This is the moment you decide what you're eating tonight. And if someone at your table wants something besides pizza, don't worry, there are plenty of tasty options to choose from. Bring friends, bring family, bring an appetite. Dine in, grab a box to go, or order online for pickup or delivery. Open today, see the menu, and start your order now.
Yo, what's up? We are back with Lyrik Cruz. But check it out. That was Buongiorno's. Buongiorno's Italian cuisine downtown. Look, it is a great place to go and have some Italian food. It's right on the riverfront. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Go show some love to my boy, Nick Ramos. So, back at the table, Lyrik is here. What's up, Lyrik?
What's up, brother?
Doing good, doing good. Are you ready for this or that?
Yeah, let's do this or that.
We'll do this or that. So it's this or that. You answer one of those questions, this one or that one.
Okay.
And you explain why you're picking that particular one.
Okay.
All right. They're silly. Some are not silly. It depends where my mind goes. I'll be honest. So we're gonna start off with Tom or Jerry, the mouse or the cat.
Jerry.
Why?
I'm always a fan of the underdog. You know, for me, it's always like, if it was like NSYNC or Backstreet, I went for Backstreet. If it was Britney or Christina, I went for Christina Aguilera. You know, like I'm just a fan of the underdog. So I think I see myself in them.
Okay, cool. I like that one. So, Chicago Cubs or Chicago Sox?
Brother, is that a serious question?
That is a serious question here at the Flavor Podcast.
Chicago Cubs.
Okay, the Cubs.
All the way, all day.
All right, why?
Why not? No, you know, I'm a West Side kid, and you know, I went to school in Lincoln Park. Like, you know, part of my life was in Boys Town, so Wrigleyville all day long. You know, like that's my second adopted neighborhood. You know.
Well, I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm a Yankee fan. But here in Chicago, if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be the Cubs. So
I'm also a Yankee fan, though.
Yeah.
But Cubs, listen, they could have the worst season, and I'm still going to go hard.
Yeah. The only time I really goes to the Sox Stadium, which is now something rate. They changed the name so many times.
Right.
I call it Comiskey.
Always.
Is when the Yankees go. That's the only time I show up. Like last year, that's the only time I show up. If the Yankees are playing, I show up. But it's a beautiful stadium. If you're in there, the beautiful stadium. It's actually a better stadium than Wrigley. And the food is a lot better as well.
Oh, we need to be careful.
Oh no, you need to go.
Be careful.
You need to go.
No,
you need to go first. Have you gone? Okay. Okay. You have to
recently.
go. Now, like I said, I choose the Cubs, but the stadium,
right?
Comiskey's better. A lot of room too. You got a lot of room because nobody there. Lots of room. So because my partner's not here, I'm gonna say one of hers. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Why?
Well, I do both, but coffee is definitely part of my everyday. You know, after I do the gym, I need a café con leche to get my day going. So it's just part of my everyday.
Ooh, so I got to ask this question. You got to watch yourself on this one. And this is a new one just because you said something right now.
Don't do me like that.
I'm going to you already know. And Paseo Boricua. Where are you going for coffee?
Oh, bro, this honestly, I love everything in our neighborhood, but Café Colao that's my spot.
Café Colao,
for years though, literally, these people, you could ask them when I'm home. I am there every morning.
Yeah,
every morning.
I love that. I love that. It's the spot to go to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I love them as well, and I go there as well. They see me a lot, but I gotta say, Plena Macacia, my girl Daphne.
Yeah,
you gotta try their coffee.
Oh, the thing is that I know that there's a lot of great spots now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I have
Chucheria.
I did try some at Chucheria. Their coffee, it was also amazing. But you know, I'm also I'm a loyalist.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
So to me, Café Colado is just this is
Bro.
my family. This is where I go.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's the way I am too. I gotta go to Café Colado.
Yeah,
I
for
gotta
sure.
show my face there. Even when I'm not getting a coffee, I'm gonna get a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the sandwiches are
It's
freaking
gonna-
amazing.
Bro, the coconut avena is people
Bro.
don't even understand. Okay. I take everyone that I brought to visit Chicago, I take them straight there.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right, cool. He stays safe, people. He's still safe. Still safe. So, Chicago Bears or the Green Bay Packers? It is a question on this table.
The Bears, brother. The Bears. Listen, I'm an 80s baby. Like, we are so loyal to the Bulls, to the Bears, to the Cubs. Like,
What are you saying about 80s baby and you're loyal? The Bears only had an 85. That's it.
yeah, but I was alive for it. And I know the Super Bowl shuffle, bro.
Me too. I got the record. I got the record.
Right. So that's it. That's all I needed from them. Lasts me a lifetime.
All right. Be loyal to the scrubs.
No, listen, this year.
They did good. I am a Williams fan. I am a Caleb Williams fan. Not the Bears.
Right.
I don't follow them no more.
Okay.
But the quarterback,
Yeah.
Williams, is amazing.
What an amazing season.
Oh, he's a magician out there.
Yeah.
Oh, he does amazing work. Oh, okay. So, Wonder Woman or Supergirl?
Wonder Woman all the way.
Why?
Linda Carter?
That's what
Are
I'm
you
talking
kidding
about.
me?
That's how we know we're the same guy.
Yeah.
Right? Renato. It's
Bro.
always Linda Carter.
Come on. There's no. Listen. Let me find the right way to say this. She's Latina, and that's it. Like, she was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You know?
Mexicana también.
Yeah, mexicana y bella.
Yeah.
Bella. Like, and she's also, her social justice stands are so dope too. So now as a grown up, I'm still a major fan because she's amazing.
She's amazing. Look, I used to date people that look like her. And for Halloween, I used to have, hey, why don't you wear this Wonder Woman outfit?
Oh, you were really trying to flex in these streets.
I was obsessed. I was obsessed.
I don't blame you.
So other characters like that, Batman or Superman?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. But I think I like the mystery of Batman was really my jam.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. He was sharp. He was, he was classy. He was chic. He was gangster. I'm so a Batman fan.
Word. Okay, cool. So, because my partner's not here again, mountains or oceans?
I live in California for a reason, and I love both. Honestly, there I can't choose one or the other because I'm a person who hikes almost every day.
Okay.
Runyon Canyon, I live 2 blocks from it in West Hollywood, so that's like my part of my daily routine and what I do for mental health. And the ocean is my freedom, man. That's where I go to release and relieve. Yeah. And so I'm strongly connected to both, so I couldn't be able to pick one or the other.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one because I'm from Vega, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So we have where my grandmother's house is the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
From the top of the mountain, you can see the ocean in the distance. So we get both worlds. The best of both worlds there. So I understand completely. Let's see. Oh, we got to do this one. Arroz blanco or arroz con gandules?
See, if it's arroz blanco con habichuelas rojas, then that's my jam. But if it's just one or the other, arroz con gandules.
Okay, cool. Jesse Fuentes was here, alder person Jesse Fuentes was here, and she picked arroz blanco because she says you could sauce it up, right? You always put something on top of it.
Yeah.
You could put an egg on top of it también, So yeah.
Well, white rice is our saving grace in a Puerto Rican household.
Yeah, pretty much.
As long as you got white rice in those cabinets, you are good.
You're good to go. Because you can do a little bolita, you know what I'm saying?
anything.
With the what do Cubans or Colombians call the pegao?
Yeah.
Con.
Yeah, el concon.
Con. So yeah, that's something that my mom fed us when we got to the bottom of the sartén or the olla. It was always that pegao, So definitely, definitely. So the last one.
Yeah.
This is an important one, very important one.
Okay.
Chicago pizza or New York pizza?
Chicago. Chicago pizza. And New York, you know, I love you. New York is my second home, man. New York has given me so much love, so I don't want them to be mad. But I always fight with them in New York, all my friends. Chicago pizza, bro, all day. Any style from just about any pizzeria, for sure.
And I love that you said any style because we have different kinds of styles in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, you got your pan, you got your deep dish, you got your thin crust. You know,
Yeah.
you got tavern style. You know, you got all kinds of styles when it comes to pizza here in Chicago. But if you were to go to one place in Chicago, what would that place be?
For pizza, so, you know, it's a journey, all right? Because I was a father and son person.
Okay.
And I was a Congress pizza person. Definitely a Mama Luna's guy. But now I mostly go to Chicago's Pizza.
Chicago pizza?
On Sheffield, yeah.
Sheffield. Okay, I can dig that. Yeah. So have you ever heard of a place named Pequod's?
Yeah, I know people are huge fans of it. I like it. It's all right.
It's all right. Okay.
It's all right.
Okay. Sorry, Pequod's. You know I love you. He don't mean that. He don't mean that. Have you heard of a place? Because my partner's not here. Have you ever heard of a place called Natty's Pizza?
Natty's, I have not.
Absolutely, because no one has. This is her favorite place. No one knows your pizza, girl. It's not that great. You see? And he's been all over the world. So
Be
cool.
nice.
Oh, me and her go at it all the time. She does all love. So let's talk about a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Lyrik, who were you when you were 10 years old?
I was a super energetic kid who had already found an incredible love for life, for experience, for music, and for performing. You know, by the time I was 10, all I wanted to do was dance and act and recite poetry. And, you know, again, it set me apart from a lot of the kids in the neighborhood. But, you know, that's who I was at 10. You know, it was also my sweet escape. You know, life at home wasn't always easy. So, you know, once I found that sanctuary in music and art and all of that is what I would get lost in. And that's who I was. You know, I know that my energy was very overwhelming for some people sometimes, but I'm grateful that my mother never made me feel bad for the energy I had. You know, she knew that I could be a handful someday. That, you know, I would get the Andy ya. And you know, when our parents used to give us this hand, was like you needed to stop. But you know, she never made me feel bad for being who I was. But yeah, man, I found a love for life really young, and I found my purpose really young. And I could tell you, I still feel the same now.
Awesome. So who were you at 15?
At 15, I was a confused teenager trying to find peace with my identity, who I was becoming, what my lifestyle choice was going to be, how, you know, I wanted to learn to be strong behind that, you know, because often a lot of our lifestyle or life choices, you know, people want to box it as, you know, being weak or less than. So, you know, battling, you know, just how can I accept this part of what's happening in my young life? But, you know, I'm a person who's always been very real with myself, and I couldn't hide who I was becoming. You know, I loved myself. Now I understand that I did love myself a lot more than what I understood back then, that I refused to ever live a lie. So, you know, I was battling that, and, you know, and also battling finding my foot in my high school life. You know, again, I went to Lincoln Park. It was the first time I went to school with anything but Black and Mexican. So there was a lot of adjusting there, you know, and a lot of making sure that, you know, you start realizing the differences in how the AP classes had all the Indian kids and Asian kids, and we weren't in those classes. But, you know, me being so hyper aware, the way I've been my whole life, was like, why am I not in those classes? So, you know, it was a lot of questioning of where do you belong? Who are you? But I will tell you that the blessing was that, you know, I always took that bus back to Humboldt Park and reminded daily who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty tough during those times because you were just finding out who you were.
Yeah.
And people probably didn't accept that
Yeah.
because they didn't just know what that is sometimes.
Yeah.
Or there was a back stigma
Yeah.
when it came to
lack of understanding for sure.
yeah. So definitely something that a lot of our people go through, and I think today's more accepted.
Oh yeah, listen, what, and I'm happy. I will never be. I will never have resentment that what we had to go through made it easier for the generation to come, because the generation before mine's had it even harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough being who I was, and I was also the epitome of an art school kid. So I had orange hair, blue hair, bleach blonde hair. I had piercings. I was. But for me, it was the fantasy of exploring. I as a creative, I was in love with all of it. I loved colors. I loved music. I loved life. So that's. But walking through Humboldt Park in 1995 with orange hair and nail polish, that really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I, even through the little bullying that I did have to experience, but I don't know, man. I stood firm in who I was, and I wasn't gonna let anyone make me go into a closet.
So how do you walk down now, Paseo Boricua?
Brother, my head can't be held up higher. More because I'm so confident in the man I've become, and this doesn't come from my career. It comes from my heart.
Yeah.
I lead life with good intentions. I'm not perfect. I've made good choices. I've made bad choices, but I've made choices.
Yeah.
And I don't regret any of them, because I don't sit in a life full of regret. I took risks for everything that I wanted. Some of them failed epically. Some of them succeeded epically. But, I've never wanted to take away from anybody. I wanted to see people shine with me. I never mind sharing my shine. I've never felt intimidated by that. I don't know, things that make you feel good is just that I'm always willing to share, and even now, this knowledge for life that I have or for this industry, anyone that I could share it with and help pick up, because what good is my come up if I'm not bringing anyone up with me? Yeah. And I've been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah, I love that. So at 20, who were you at 20?
Oh, 20. I was bouncing off the walls of the city in every way possible. But more than anything, I think I was already a little bit settled in who I was. I was already super focused on my dance life. Mm-hmm. At this point, things were really happening. I was touring, I was traveling. I started getting, my local celebrity, and things were happening for my dance company, which was literally my pride and joy and what I put my every minute of every day into. I was already making moves, man. At 20, I was becoming the businessman. Yeah. That's just where I was at. I was passing out flyers, throwing parties, having fundraisers for my dance company, raising money for plane tickets so we could travel the country. That's where I was at 20, full out every day.
I'm loving that.
Yeah.
I'm loving that. 25.
25, man. At 25, I was traveling the world. At this point, I had already been to Italy maybe 4 or 5 times, and I was just excited to prove to the world that Chicago has something to offer, and that was my mission at 25. At 25, I was determined to put respect on Chicago's dance scene, and one of my colleagues here, Ivelisse La Bombera, her. She says something in an interview last year that I have carried with me, and I credit her because I don't need to credit myself for something that didn't come out of me first. But she said, in Chicago, we've never lacked talent, we lacked opportunity. Mm. And she was so right about that, and that was my mission. That was my mission with my dance company. And at 25, that's when I really was like so determined. Like I was gonna go dance with the New York dancers and prove to them that a Chicago dancer could dance next to them. I was gonna go partner all the fierce women from New York City to get some respect on a Chicago dancer. You know, everything always had like the Chicago thing to it.
And the way you do it.
Yeah, I know, you know, and fortunately, I could say mission accomplished.
Just go.
I put a lot of respect on Chicago's name and our dance scene. And I also had colleagues here who also were moving up at the same time and were doing incredible things. And you know, I really want to mention them. I want to say that between myself, Marixa Valentin of Latin Rhythms, and Sekou McMiller, who's now New York based, but at that time in 2005, we had really taken the Latin dance world by storm in our own areas. Yeah. And Marixa just celebrated 25 years of her dance company and dance studio here. And she's in River North, Puerto Rican woman, owning a business in River North. Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah, like, you know, always inspired by her. But, you know, it's crazy because, you know, we had our like super, you know, ignorant rivalry at one time of our life, but we were just all trying to be great.
Yeah.
Is what we understand now.
It's Chicago. That's what we do.
You know, but we made each other better.
Yeah.
And that I know. We made each other better because what Sekou had, I didn't. And what I had, she didn't. And what she had, we didn't. You get me? So, but the point that we were all trying to make is that Chicago was worth it. Yeah. And we proved it, you know, and I definitely share that with them.
Awesome. 30 years old.
30 years, the midlife crisis of Lyrik Cruz happened at 30 years old. You know, at this point, I had been touring and traveling the world for a long time. I loved my dance company a lot, but I was so confused because at this point, so many of my kids had grown up into adults. They were going into their own dance projects and exploring their own artistry. And I kind of felt like, man, you know, it's so easy for everyone to leave. This is my mentality then, very different now. Everyone could just leave me, but I'm the one that stays there. And then am I doing a disservice to myself by staying there? You know, so that was a big internal battle at that point. But then it was like, this was my legacy. I built this since I was 17 and I got it to be known and I created my name out of it. Do I walk away from it? But ultimately, the you know, life tells you how you have to live it. You just got to pay attention. Yeah. And, you know, the truth was that it was time to find peace with that. We did incredible things as a dance company. I broke so many barriers with Jóvenes del Swing, and I was able to represent Chicago around the world, man. You know, like I was an ambassador of the Latin dance world. Being from Chicago, but maybe it was time to just focus on myself. But then that was a journey also because I only knew myself through my dance company at that point, you know? So, you know, it was an interesting time, but a much needed time for my future, for what was ahead. And, you know, and I'm happy that I've always trusted my intuition because it's led me to this now, you know?
Awesome. You're doing such a great thing. So, 30 to 35.
32, 35, running wild in Los Angeles, feeling the fantasy of being in La La Land and the city of dreams and all of that, you know. And also, I think I wanted to so let go of responsibility. So I was just kind of flowing. And, you know, this is where some of the bad decisions were made. But I was there and they were mine, you know, and I was just exploring and doing life as I felt it. It was a little disorganized and chaotic, not too familiar to how I've always lived my life. But, you know, I had to live it to get it out of my system and then refocus, recharge. And then, you know, by the time 33 kicked in is when I knew like, okay, I have to make this dream happen because if not, I'm going to be sleeping on a friend's sofa for a long time. So that was that. Yep. And then, you know, so as I'm in that space, I'm just, you know, I wanted to start learning what the LA scene was. I wanted to know what it was to find an agent. I wanted, you know, to just start building from the ground up there. And, you know, that's when I started really auditioning for jobs and trying to network as much as I can to meet as many people as I could, you know, to really make something happen there.
took a little break there because I had to fix the camera.
Okay, so good.
So that's awesome. So now that was 30, 35. I can't go too much further, a little bit more, but not too much. So from 40
Yeah.
to now.
40 to now has been creating the stability in my career and graduating from starving artist to a working artist.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah. And I think it's so important that I share this for young artists. I think we use the term starving artist way too much and we laugh at it way too much. And then it becomes a little normal for us to say, and it really downplays our journey and the work that we do every day. You know, what we choose to do to add color to this dark world is not an easy one. And not everyone wants to see you and not everyone does see you. And we're consistently vulnerable and putting ourselves on the line to be criticized every day, you know? And, you know, I think that when, you know, I know for myself, I used to say that all the time, you know, I'm a starving artist, but, you know, it'll happen. It was downplaying so much work that I had already done, you know? So, but I think at 40 was just when I finally realized like I would never use those words again in reference to myself.
Yeah. Plus you're putting that into the hemisphere.
Yeah, or to any other artist. I think that you go from stages of being a young artist to a developing artist to a working artist. I don't think you should ever be a starving artist.
Yeah. Awesome. So I want to get to this really cool part of your life that is being seen all over the world, actually. You were just at the Bad Bunny Bowl.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Oh, I don't even know why I'm about to get choked up as you ask me that question. I'm still unpacking. You know, it's gonna be 2 weeks this Sunday. Oh man, you know, what a culmination of a lifetime of work to have led up to this moment that I did not see in my future. I've celebrated a lot of Super Bowl wins for my friends who have done it. And, you know, but me being more of the Latin dancer of my friends group, that wasn't what Super Bowl ever offered or ever opened the doors to. So I never thought that that was a possibility. And then he announces this in September last year. And I want to say that was already underlying manifesting this job because from the moment that album came out, I literally started choreographing to every song. I did concept videos to so many of them. I started teaching in every class to all that music. And more so because I was so happy that he was introducing our culture to a whole new generation of young Latin people that were going to get interested again in what it is to be who they were.
Cut you off.
Yeah.
I don't think just Latin people. I think the world.
Yeah.
I think the world. And then we want our people, right? We want our generation, our children. But I think the world is seeing something new.
Oh, yeah. No, the world definitely got introduced to something that was unknown to them. But I guess I refer to Latin people because we needed Latin kids to feel proud again.
Yes.
And to wanna dive into why they should be prideful. You know how I told you briefly in a conversation, it's so our job to make these kids curious of why they should be amazing and be so proud of being Puerto Riqueño, Mexicano, Colombiano, Venezolano. You know, it's so important that you know where you come from because we come from a rich history and a rich culture. And this is where I give Bad Bunny the ultimate praise that he did the work himself and then he passed the work forward. That's what you do with knowledge. You gain it, you learn it, you don't gatekeep it.
Yeah.
You share it.
Yeah.
You know, you share that type of knowledge. And so, you know, him being so intentional, and I'm a super intentional person in life, that, you know, when he launched this in September, the first thing I said to myself was like, man, Andy, you have to find out who's on this team. You got to find out, you got to be a part of this somehow. But then life was lifing, but like, you know, my career was going so well at that point. I was working and traveling. I was in London when that had happened. And I was just like, man, you know, I got to get on it, but I'm on to next project, the next project, the next project. And then I'm in New York in December in my best friend's apartment, and I open my email and it's from my agent, and it's like, you know, they want to see dancers of this age, this demographic for these dates. I saw the dates and I looked at my best friend. I said, this is the Super Bowl. I know it is. You know, I've been in the industry long enough to know how those private casting calls come out. And I told my agent, yeah, confirmed, I'm going to do it. Then, of course, we all knew it was for Super Bowl. Brother, I haven't gone to a cattle call audition in centuries. And, but this one was for the culture. And this one was different for me. And mind you, I didn't even want to choreograph. I wanted to dance for this one. I needed to be on that stage. And I went, and mind you, the average age of what I auditioned with was like 25, 27-year-old kids. But which was a dope experience, because a lot of them, even in line, man, they showed me a lot of respect. And they were like, man, Lyrik, it's so cool that I get to audition with you. You know, like sometimes forgetting what you've already done and the legacy that you've built, because I never did it for credit. I did it because it was my calling, you know? And I go through the audition process, and then callbacks were supposed to be the next day. They were so overwhelmed that they pushed it for a week. So the anxiety starts. I haven't lived in this anxiety space in centuries. And here we go every day. I'm like, damn, man, I don't feel like it was good enough what I did, but I think it was good enough. They know who I am, you know, just hoping.
I got a name out there.
Yeah. I think I
they saw my work.
Yeah, I mean a little something, you know.
Yeah.
Then literally I couldn't even, I was so anxious that the day that I found out I got the call back, it was me texting my agent. I was like, man, Julie, I'm sorry. I know you must be overwhelmed with all of us wanting to find out, but you know, anything yet in the callback? And she's like, Lyrik, this is so crazy. I literally just got the list, and yes, your name is on it. Boom! I was like, okay, good. Call back. Okay. Then you read then it's like 2 days from then. I go, they wanted something specific. We go, super concentrated group. But then after those callbacks, they're like, well, we're not going to let anybody know today. We'll let you know in a week. Second anxiety kicks in.
Definitely.
Then agents tell us they're not going to let anyone know till the new year. So this is how my winter vacation went, right?
That's when that break came in.
Yeah, brother. When I've been hoping that happened, right? The grays happened. We're there, you know, you're so chill. Everybody's inviting you to do a million things at the holidays. You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because you're just like, but then I also got in super attack mode. I said, I'm booking this job and I'm going to be ready for it. And I was in the gym every day. I was doing the things I had to do, getting ready for dry January, you know, keeping it chill, you know, just like I was already in it, you know. But then they start making the calls. I didn't get mine. A few of my friends did. My best friend, who his name is also Carlos, he gets to the week before, and, you know, he's checking in with me every day like, hey, you know, have you gotten the call yet? Then I started feeling defeated. I was like, damn, man, I might not get this. But life goes on because I have to keep it moving. You know, this is just the top of the year.
You're already established dancer out here, choreographer.
There's stuff to do. But, you know, still, man, that punch in the stomach, you're like, man, is this not going to happen? But, bro, the day that I felt the most defeated is the day that I got the email while I'm sitting at the place where I do this cryotherapy, you know, to heal my body. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and I went there that day because I was like, I can't stay in this headspace. Like, if I don't hear from it, you know, I got to stay on track. You know, I have a mission in life. But while I'm sitting there, I refresh my emails really quick, and there's the email from my agent, and it's like, Happy New Year. I'm happy to let you know that you've been booked for Super Bowl 60. Oh, bro, I just started crying my ass off.
Yeah,
you know,
I bet.
Sobbing, and but then I'm inside of a spa, so I can't scream. So I'm kind of like, I'm in a robe. I'm like, you know, they're like, oh, you know, Lyrik, we're ready for you. I was like, bro, put it for like 2 minutes. I got to get out of here. Like, you know, and then, you know, when I walked down, man, I screamed so hard in that parking lot because I've done amazing things. but this meant more to me. What I want people to also understand, this wasn't about dancing for Bad Bunny. I'm happy that he was the catalyst for this, but it wasn't about dancing for him. It was about representing Puerto Rico on the world's biggest stage. And me being such an Alpha Rican from Chicago, and this is where I'll get choked up. I love who I am and my people so much. I love my community. And I'm a kid who was raised by a village who believed in what I had to offer. And I knew that if my city has somebody from their neighborhood on that stage, that was going to mean something. And it was also going to inspire every little kid who's walking through our neighborhood who has a dream that nobody's listening to, for them to know that it's possible. I grew up in the roughest time of Chicago. I was a chubby kid who a lot of people counted out. And here I am at 45, getting to dance on the biggest stage in the world with the biggest artist in the planet who happens to be Puerto Rican. There's no words that I will fully have for that. But it happened. And I worked so hard to make sure that I gave the best of what I have built myself to be. And I can say I walked away feeling so accomplished and fulfilled. And I was able to come right back home to celebrate with the people that matter the most to me. So
be proud, man.
Oh, man.
We are proud of you. To tell you,
thank you.
I was watching it, the game, and tears came down my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Even though I can't even say that. I watched someone in the game. I watched the concert. And tears came down my eyes because I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. And I wasn't even there, but just watching our people and us being represented, and not just our people, but Latinos in general.
Yeah, like this is also the thing, growing up in Chicago, my Mexican brothers and sisters mean just as much to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the people I walk side by side with in life. Yeah. And they're living through a really tough time. You know what I'm saying? And this moment is just, again, for anyone who's really in tune with life and has any sense of empathy in them, this is horrible, what we're living and witnessing. And, sometimes as an artist, you feel like, man, I live in this bubble, in this fantasy world, but my dance is my resistance. Me being a Latino dancer choreographer in the Hollywood world is my resistance, And what other way for me to protest than to dance for all of us? You know what I'm saying? And to see that in that cast, everywhere that I looked around was every shape, every shade, again, because this man is so intentional in how he does things, that he built a team. Imagine the choreography team, which was also, I have to mention because it's so special. It was a Black woman, a Puerto Rican woman, and a Dominican woman that led this project.
Wow.
Bro.
You're about to make me cry right now.
No, like, listen. And again, me, because I'm just more of a veteran in it, those kids who danced with us in the Super Bowl, I still don't think they fully comprehend what that really meant in the world we live in. So, imagine you're going on stage with all of that pride. Bro, it was the best moment of our life. Those 15 minutes, I can't even tell you, from the moment that we're presetting on the field and you start hearing, ba-da-da, welcome to the NFL halftime show. And it's salsa music. And then you start hearing that cuatro. Like, bro, like, what world, Like, listen, it's just, I can't believe that I was a part of it, but I know that I was deserving of the moment. I've earned it. I didn't feel entitled to it, but I did feel deserving of it, because my career has been based on pushing my culture and being boxed in as a Latin dancer when I'm a dancer. I'm a choreographer. I love all music, but that's fine. If you were gonna box me in for being Puerto Rican, and box me in for loving Latin music the way that I do.
Yeah.
And so it's been, I'm still unpacking. Every day I'm unpacking what that was, because it's super overwhelming. And to know that you're part of history, all you want to do in life, any of us, we want to do something that mattered to somebody, to something. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I'm single, and I've walked a lot of this life alone. But I want to do something that means something to my nieces and nephews in the future. I wanted to do something that means something to my community, which I think my community has been behind me my entire career, but I wanted to give you guys this, and this project let me do that, man. I can't say how indebted I am also to those choreographers for giving me the space, because, I am a 45-year-old man, and they could have went in any other direction, but they gave me one of those spots.
I'm loving it. And I want to say thank you to you for thinking about us, because you did it and all that stuff, and you felt good about it. You were there and all that stuff, but you thought about us. You thought about us watching it at this side.
Every step of the way, Los, man. Like I'm going to share with you a video of my first rehearsal day, and I wanted to blog and do everything that I could to just have this moment recorded. And I'm like, guys, today's my first day of rehearsal. I'm super excited. I don't even know what I'm walking into, but Chicago, this is for you. Humboldt Park, this is for you. I said it then. Yeah. And when I'm on that field and that the music clicks off and in our in-ears, they're like, everybody stand by, 2 minutes. All I thought was, I wish I could be on Division Street right now with all my people watching this, because they are about to lose their mind.
They did.
Yeah. No, I knew it. Please, you think I don't know you guys? And that alone gave me so much energy to let's do this, you know? Yeah. Just, again, man, just so emotional, so amazing, and the magic was real. The magic was real.
Great stuff. That's great stuff. We're not gonna end this segment, but I do want to give you something. Yeah. Camera on Lyrik, please. Thank you. Lyrik, I want to tell you that you have flavor.
Yes, my people, check this out. I'm Adobo approved by the Flava podcast. This is everything.
That's right. That is made by me. My hands put that together, and
oh, bro, thank you. This is gonna go. Listen, I have a mini museum at my crib.
Okay.
From everything that I've done, this is gonna go right next to my Boricua comic books.
I love it. Yes. I'm gonna have to give you 2 of them because I want you to try it.
Yeah, for sure, please.
But hey, you got something else going on in Chicago.
Yeah.
Something going on this July, I believe. No, June. In June. So can you tell the people what it is?
Yeah. So listen, this is where now I'm even more excited after this project happened, because last year I teamed up with the Gomez sisters, who are the producers of the Puerto Rican Festival. The Puerto Rican Festival was the very first stage I ever danced on when I was 9 years old as a performer. So this opened the gates to all of this that has happened. And the Gomez sisters had a vision of creating a platform to bring some of that youth talent back to the stages, which has kind of died out in our neighborhood, unfortunately. When one of the years at the Salsa Congress, I was being honored because I was retiring from the Salsa Congress world. And, they heard in my thank you speech how I talked about La Casa Puertorriqueña, because it was a home for me for real. And they approached me with the idea of doing Boricua's Got Talent, which I got so excited about because further, I've been away for 13 years and I love my neighborhood. Needless to say, and I'll probably say it 100 more times before we're done in 2 minutes. But, everything that happens in Humboldt Park has always mattered to me. There was just a time where with the Puerto Rican Fest, there was a huge detachment for me because no one wanted to pass the torch, and you saw things stay so stagnant and just not in the best place. Yeah. But Michelle and Melissa are people I know for a lifetime. And Michelle's also one of those people who saw something in me very young. And when I was 18, 19, she was hiring me to choreograph things for her, for the production she was working on at the time. So we kind of reintroduced ourselves to each other now at this stage of our life. And her and her sister are everything I stand for. And they, I don't like people that talk too much with no action. I like people who put their money where their mouth is. Because if you're going to criticize, then what's your solution? Right.
Ooh, come on.
And that's how these two women move. And I respect them. And I love how they approach me. And so I'm so excited to be co-producing Boricua's Got Talent with them, which now, last year was a huge success. We had so many people from the community came out to literally support our small stage because we're on the smaller stage. Yeah. But we were packed, man, and even the alder person was there to support us. It was everything I wanted to come back to the Puerto Rican Festival to do. I've been absent from it for 15 years, but I got to come back to it with this capacity. But it was to share with my community and give young artists a platform. Yeah. And I wanted them to feel what it is to be introduced by someone who's done it from their neighborhood. Yeah, and feel that their names could be in lights and their names could be mentioned with some punch to it because they matter. Yeah. And I'm happy that Michelle and Melissa saw me as a person to carry this out. Because honestly, I'm not sad that I didn't think about this myself, but I'm happy that they saw me with the vision. Right. Because now it's something I'm so hyped about. Like my agent knows, June, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing Chicago in June. And I'm going to make sure that this Boricua's Got Talent continues to grow. And we're going to start taking submissions soon. And, the whole point of it is I asked all my friends who were in the industry to be judges of it, which are people who are music producers, drama teachers, are actors. And, I got a lot of the theater companies in our community to offer mentorship, offer hours of training. Latin Rhythms offered hours of dance training where they could come and train with them for a bit, just to give, because when I was growing up, what my mom didn't have was money for me to formally train. And it took a while for me to find it on my own. But if we could start helping our talent in our community find these spaces and tell them, listen, there's money out there, there's scholarships out there, and there's mentorship that we need to be offering, And that's what we're doing with Boricua's Got Talent. So, this year I'm super excited because I know it's going to be better than last year. We're so ready to take it up to the next level. And this year I'm adding a celebrity judge to the final night. So, I won't unveil that yet, but in the works and, and more than anything to celebrate the youth of our community. Yeah. I want them to know that they're not forgotten, and that they matter and that I need them to occupy this space. Yeah.
I'm loving everything you're doing. I'm loving everything you have done. Keep on doing what you're doing because we need you. We needed you when we were young.
Thank you.
So keep on doing this. I know we're appreciating it. People my age are appreciating everything you're doing, and you keep on doing. It's like you said, you thought you're going to be counted out because of your age, and God said, nope.
Yeah.
This one needs to be in there.
Yeah.
Because this one's going to do stuff that he's doing here. Yes, great. But I need him to do something over here.
Yeah.
To raise the future.
Yeah. And I need our kids to know, Carlos, I need every Latin kid to know that their dream is valuable and it's valid and it's worthy.
Yeah.
They're worth the dream.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm so glad we got together. I'm so glad this happened.
Thank you for coming in on your day off. My days are short now, so I'm about to head out back to the West Coast. But thank you, and thank you for what you're doing with your platform, Los. It matters that we're here for each other, and I love to see the passion behind your project, what you've built it to do, and who you're highlighting at this table.
Yeah.
We also need you.
Yeah.
Because without you, we can't tell these stories. Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I see this as my ministry.
Yeah.
And when you put in God right behind it, hey, anything's possible.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, Lyrik Cruz, I want to tell you, thank you for coming down to the Flava podcast. Yeah. It's very much appreciated.
My pleasure.
My co-host is going to be so jealous of this. And he doesn't know your pizza. Anyways,
And and hopefully next time when I come back in June, we could come in with the girls and talk about the Puerto Rican Fest and all of that good stuff.
It's like I told Jessie Fuentes, right? She's a friend of the podcast, the other person, Jessie Fuentes. Whenever she needs this platform, she could use it. I told her I don't even need to be in here. You want to get this mic? You want to jump on this?
Dope.
It's yours. And I'm offering that to you as well.
Thank you
want to
so
get in
much.
here?
I
Let me
appreciate
know
that.
if you want to put a video out there. Let me know. I got you.
Yeah, let's do it, brother.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Well, Lyrik, thank you for coming on the Flavor Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And remember, people who are watching this right here, mi gente, remember, you have flavor.